My motion graphics.
Okay, so this is our second part of the Cubes into Letters remix or reupload or improved or better, more awesome, whatever. And right now we're going to create materials, we're going to light our scene, and we're going to create and animate our camera. So I think I'm going to start with the camera, but and for that I'm going to just a small tip, going into maybe just hide this small from our viewport so it kind of gets a little bit more light to work with. This is temporarily. Okay, we're going to create a target camera, right? And here's our target camera over there. We're going to use the 4 views to kind of help us out and move that camera to the place where we want. So let's just zoom out a bit. But before that, let's go into over here, cameras, use camera, and we're going to use that camera. Yeah, because I want to see what the camera is actually looking at. Okay, so we're going to move that camera so that it kind of fits over there. And we're also going to move the target. And let's just bring this right in. Let's go into our last frame so that we can see the text. Let me just zoom so you can see better. And we're gonna need to bring the target, so the camera target, over here into the center of our text. Pretty cool. Okay, and let's bring over here, and maybe the camera as well. We can bring the camera a bit up, just like so. We can use this right view. It will kind of help us a little bit more to center the camera as well. Okay, so let's go into our first frame. Make sure all of these are off except this one. Look into our top left view so that we can kind of find a decent spot where we want our animation to start. And with the camera selected, we can record a keyframe. And now we're going into our last frame. And in our last frame, I want my camera to be maybe around there. We can fine tweak this, like maybe on the X, I want it to be exactly on the 0 so that it's centered. And maybe like here, it sounds good, so I'm gonna add a keyframe. And right now, maybe around the middle of our animation, somehow. So maybe over here on our 90th frame, we can move this closer because I want to catch this transformation, right? This interception. I want to grab that. And now we have 3 keyframes. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so it comes from here, it kind of sees the transformation going on, and it comes back, and voila, pretty okay, pretty decent. I think it's okay. Great, so our camera is pretty much done. That was easy. And now let's create our lights, and for that we're going to use the Sharpbox, not the Sharpbox, but the Illuminati. So double click on that. If you don't know what it is, you can download it for free at mymotiongraphics.tv. It is a lighting setup, and you can download it, as I said before, at mymotiongraphics.tv. It's absolutely free. You can, however, leave a small donation if you think it's fair. So, or you can leave a big donation if you think it's fair as well. So that's up to you. I will be thankful. That's for sure. So let's just click and drag the Illuminati into our scene, and this is what we get. Now this is too small, so let's go back into our objects. So we have the Illuminati that's actually lighting our scene, and right now we can just make a quick render and see how it looks, and it looks gorgeous, right? The difference is huge. So, but the thing is that it's pretty small. So let's go into the Illuminati, over the Illuminati tab, and just increase our radius like so, like maybe like so. so, looks okay. And let's make a quick render so that we can see what's happening. And we might as well select different frames so we can see how it looks from different angles. And it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Great. One thing that we can change is just to reduce this bias. And this will make our shadows a little bit more accurate. I'm not sure if you can, or if you are able to really see what happened, but it's just a small difference, nothing to worry about. Okay, and this looks awesome, great work. Now we could render this up as it is. I think it looks pretty awesome already, but we might want to make this even better, and I want to stick with that blue colors that we had before, and I still want to go into After Effects and tweak those things up. I want to add reflections, and I want to add some stuff to make it even more interesting. Anyway, let's move on. So what we need to do right now is to create a material. Go ahead into your materials slot over here, double click on that, and we're going to create this material that we're going to call cubes. Not very important because this will be actually the only material we're going to add. In any case, let's we have the material over here we can work right now from here. Let's change the color to maybe bluish, like I said before, maybe like that. I'm not positive. Let's bring this into the big and control click, make a copy into the small, pick some random frame like so, and make a quick render just to see. Probably too dark. Let's go ahead and just brighten this up a bit, adjust it, maybe like so. And we're also going to get rid of this specularity. So if you're working with version R15 or before that, you'll probably you'll have this a little bit different interface, but you can just come over here and you'll find specular somewhere around there, and you can just click on that, just disable that. But here we have reflectance on R16, and that basically is all the reflections together. So the reflections that we had before, some other new reflections that we now have available on R16, and the specular as well. So to remove the specular, all we need to do is just to click on that and we're gone. And we don't want specular over here because we have a bunch of lights, and therefore we'll have lots of specularity going on, and that's too much. So we'll actually want to add a GGX. Okay, and I'm still kind of trying to understand really how this all works, this new reflectance channel works. I've been playing around, but I still have a lot to learn yet. But in any case, we want this layer 1 to be a GGX, and we also want to go into our layer color or layer mask. Let's bring this down, and we want to add a Fresnel. So there you go. And don't be confused with this image. Your material looks like this. This is the look of your reflection on this layer. So you can add multiple types of reflections together if you don't know that already. But just make sure that you don't get messed up. Okay, so we can now make a quick render, and we still don't see much of a difference. That's because we only have blue cubes that kind of reflect blue cubes, and that's not very interesting. And that's why we're gonna add a Sharpbox. It's free, you can download it once again at mymotiongraphics.tv. Don't forget to leave a donation. I will be thankful for that. And that's it. Okay, so now we've added a Sharpbox, and the Sharpbox is that kind of square object over there. Let's go and bring another camera, so use camera perspective, yeah, perspective view, and change the type to Gorilla shading. That will be fine. Move this around a little bit like so that we can see what's happening. And this Sharpbox, I want to make it farther away. I want to move it farther away from the center, so I'm just going to increase this distance, and I also want to scale it like so, and maybe move it even farther away. Let's zoom out a bit, and let's go over here on this frame or on this view and make a quick render. And as you can see, now we have these reflections, and this looks this is looking better. We now have some more detail, and what we can do is, for now, I think I'm just changing the color just a little bit more. Those small tunes, small tweaks. Still looks dark, but we can increase the intensity of our Illuminati. Let's bring that up a bit. See if it makes any difference. Not that much. Okay, I'm gonna stick with that. Okay, and we have some reflections going on. It's always advisable for you to kind of scrub around your timeline and see how it looks from different angles. And from time to time, unhide the small particles, so the small cubes, so that you can actually get a glimpse of what's really happening. I think I'm gonna increase the randomness on the B cubes as well on the Y. So this is looking really too flat, and that's why I'm gonna come over here into our random one, and I'm gonna increase a little bit this Y, like so, maybe like so. And on the small, I think I'm gonna increase that even more. Okay. So now we have something a little bit more interesting going on. Great, now we have reflections. Let's just see that a little bit closer. We have reflections. They're probably not enough, so I'm gonna bring another Sharpbox. But before that, let me just see how this works from some other angles, like so. Looks okay over here. Over here looks pretty flat, not fat, and not that awesome over here. So we need to create another Sharpbox, at least, probably more. So let's bring into our Sharpbox and just click and drag, and now we have another Sharpbox. And let's use once again our perspective view over here, and I'm gonna hide the small. Yeah, because I sense my computer complaining, and I'm also going to save, also a good idea. And let's just tweak this, and I'm going to bring this into the back, make it farther away from our object, and also scale this a bunch like so. And once again, let's just quick render so that we can see if there's any reflection going on over here, and I still don't have any reflection. So the thing is that I want some reflection going on in the end, and that's why we really need to tweak this position over here until we can see some reflections. Let's try. Okay, now we have something going on over here. Still not enough. Let's just, I don't know, over here, nope. Over there, maybe not enough. Nope. Nope. This is not working well. Where's the reflections? Where are the reflections? Okay, probably not here. But in any case, let's just zoom in and see if we do have something going on over here. Not that much, but over here I'm pretty positive that we'll have something new. Still not quite convinced. But now we have over here, and this is this Sharpbox over there. It's kind of giving us these reflections over here. Let's just make a quick. Oh yeah, now we have some reflections from the back, and it kind of gives us a little bit more of a depth into it. Looking better. Let's see if this still looks good over there. We still have a bunch of reflections, and that's pretty awesome. And we might want to add some more reflections on the bottom. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, let's try to add another Sharpbox. So just click and drag, go into your Sharpbox, make it, change the position if your computer lets you. Okay, use both hands, that's usually helpful. Okay, let's try to make some reflection over there. So let's increase our distance, tweak the rotation, increase our scale, and maybe like so. Let's try it once again over here on this. Okay, quick render. And now we have some more things going on, and I'm going to save it. Usually good idea, once again, save your file. So next step, probably the last, we're going to add ambient occlusion, and we should bring back the small cubes, right? But I'm still gonna hide them from our viewport because I don't want to see them right here. I just want to see them in our final render. And ambient occlusion will give us this kind of depth into it. It will give this shading, these shadows around the corners or around the intersections. It's kind of where the light kind of hits a little bit harder, and it will just look awesome. So I think we're ready to render this. So I'm just gonna stop that. Just clicking somewhere, doesn't really matter where. Make sure that you go into your render settings once again. Make sure your output is set to what it was before, so 1280 by 720. And make sure you have all frames. Make sure you have save checked. So don't forget to save that. And once again, don't forget to make sure that this alpha channel is set to on, and make sure your format is in PNG and all that stuff I've mentioned before. One small tip, I usually leave an underscore right after the name of the file, or the name of the file or the files I'm going to render, because our render will add some numbers to it. So the frame number will be next to the name, and this underscore will just help me to understand a little bit better. Nothing too important, but it still makes the difference. Okay, while I speak my final words during this part of the tutorial, I'm just taking a look at the settings, making sure that everything is fine for our render. And it's usually also good advice to just keep rendering some random frames to actually see what we'll get. And I just think this looks pretty okay. There you go. Now we have that shading over there. Looking good, looking good, looking okay. So let's save this once again and hit render. And then you'll just have to wait. It will take some time.